So Instagram stories might be pretty straightforward for some of you, but for others it might be something that you've never tried or that your organization maybe isn't implementing into your current strategy. So I decided to kind of go more narrow and deep, as I put it, with this kind of niche topic. So let's face off the screen because that's uncomfortable. Okay, so topic is Instagram stories and how to effectively use them. So the reason I chose this was because at Jelly Marketing, the digital marketing agency that I work at, a lot of the clients that we see come in for social consultations or workshops or our services, they generally have some kind of social media presence already established. And what that looks like is they're either posting on social media every day, sometimes they're using a scheduling tool, but I would say about 80% of the time, one thing that they're underutilizing is stories and those in-the-moment posts. And as Kyle mentioned earlier, the video and the trend of video increasing is one way to stay on top of the social media trends. And as a nonprofit, we're always looking for ways to, stay on top of the trends and ways that are quick and effective. So we're going to get into Instagram stories here. So just a quick blurb. We all know probably what Instagram stories are, but for those who aren't using them, they're bite-sized photos or videos, like I mentioned. They're posted to your followers. They expire after 24 hours. They don't appear on your profile grid, and they're a fun way to interact with your audience. So a lot of the times, organizations are using this to show behind the scenes when they're at events, but it's a great way to post a piece of content when you want to share, provide value to your audience or share some information that doesn't live on your evergreen feed. So what I mean by that is a trend that we're seeing is organizations or businesses or brands, their social media and specifically Instagram, you'll notice a very curated kind of trend or vibe, and it almost tells a story. So Instagram stories is a great way, like I said, to share, whether it's, we're going to get into that after, whether it's, like I said, in-the-moment posts that aren't going to affect your overall trend. So quick demonstration how to post on Instagram stories. You're going to open up your app. You're going to click that home button on the bottom left, tap the camera icon on the top left corner there, tap the circle for once for a photo and hold it down for video. So super easy to use. What we see coming up for organizations and how they can use this is behind the scenes. So what I mean by that are whether it's office tours, if it's interviews, if it's Q&As, like I mentioned, things that aren't going to be living on that evergreen feed and that aren't expected to have a high production value because they're on your stories. So that's kind of something we're definitely looking for in the nonprofit sector as well, is we don't always have those resources to produce these high quality videos. So another thing that we like to use it for our nonprofit clients are meet the teams. So like I mentioned, if you're doing interview style, if you're posting a photo of them, if you're doing something fun in the office, it adds that human and that face behind the brand. As the first presenter mentioned, how these scheduled posts might seem not as genuine, whereas when you're posting these behind the scenes videos and clips, you're getting a more face behind the brand and adding that personality to it. So it could be at events as well, any exciting announcements you might have, and like I mentioned a couple times, things that you don't want living on that, what we call evergreen feed. So a couple ways to optimize your Instagram stories are to use the variety of tags and stickers and GIFs and all that stuff that lives on them. So I'm going to go through them really quick here. So there's 3 different types of tags you can use, and all these types of tags are going to ultimately give your stories more reach. So there's going to be more eyes on what you're posting. So the first one is a location tag. So I took this video here at Jelly. We're in Fort Langley. If any of you venture into the valley, come visit us. We have jelly for you for your souvenir to take with you. So you can tag your location. Fort Langley might have been a more probably gotten us a couple more eyes on this post, just because it's not as narrow. People aren't necessarily looking at the location tag of Jelly. The next is an account tag, so you can tag the businesses that you're with or the people that you're with. This is great because this allows whoever you're tagging to then share it onto their page as well, so that again, gives you a little bit more exposure there. And hashtags again, so your organization might have a branded hashtag, so using those allows people who are clicking on that hashtag and looking for it, if it's event hashtag, like tonight, people who are clicking on those hashtags are going to see your photos. So you can also add stickers and GIFs. These are kind of just fun little ways to spruce up your video or your photo. So there are static stickers and emojis. They're really fun. This was taken on Friday, as you can tell. Lots to do with that day. We've got moving GIFs. So they're essentially the stickers, but they're animated. Super fun way to kind of add a little bit of animation to your video. Again, this all goes back to not having necessarily those high quality video resources, but still making your video engaging and fun, right, to your audience. You can add text and doodles. So it was recently my 1 year at Jelly, so I posted this photo here. Pretty straightforward, typing out a caption or a comment. The last point is important though. If you have a call to action, you want to make sure that's highlighted. I don't know the exact statistic, but it's something like 80% of people aren't using audio when they're scrolling through social media. So it's always important to have a caption, especially if you have a video where you might be talking, just your key bullet notes of what you want to try to communicate. You can write words with this pen, or you can draw doodles. Okay, here's where the fun part comes out. So this is more of the gamification of Instagram stories. So Jelly got a pet chameleon a couple months ago, and naturally we took to social media to announce it and to ask our audience to send us names. So we posted this photo here, and the question widget allows us to post a question and our audience to then submit any answer they'd like. And as well, there is a slider feature that allows your audience to react to a question that you pose or a statement, and they can slide the emoji of your choice either up or down the slider. And for the record, we named him Peanut. He's very cute, as in peanut butter and jelly. I think the runner-up name was Karma Chameleon, but it wasn't as on-brand as Peanut. Okay, so getting into countdown. So this is one that I can see nonprofits using a lot more as well, is the countdown widget when it comes to fundraising galas or events. So this widget allows you to schedule a countdown from the day that you post it to when your event or your fundraiser might be. And then there's polls as well, which is similar to the first questions one, where you can pose a question. However, this time you're only allowed to post 2 different answers. So, I was slow here. So you've got your countdown there on this post, and then you can also post a question, will you be there? And your audience can respond yes or no. It's kind of a good way to get some quick insight too to your audience and a little bit of research, market research. So some quick examples. Etsy, if you're familiar with Etsy, they're an online marketplace where people can sell things that they've made. So this is a fun example of how to use Instagram stories. So all these posts here were posted in succession, and I would say that they were taken directly from a phone while they were doing this craft here. You can see they've utilized things like text and like doodles and different colors, and it's a super quick, little engaging, digestible tidbit that probably didn't take that long, that provides value to your audience and doesn't require a lot of resources or time. Airbnb, we all know Airbnb. They do Travel Tuesday, so they'll post a photo of one of their locations or one of their homes, and kind of they use polls, as you can see in the middle post there, and they ask their audience to guess where that particular house is. So kind of a fun, engaging way. It ultimately makes the customer or the audience member or your followers stop when they're scrolling through all these stories and take that minute to engage with you. So some key takeaways here. We could talk on and on about storytelling and marketing, but just something to definitely keep in mind, especially in these Instagram stories. They are called stories, so it's kind of fun to kind of curate that post by post and using those little widgets and things that I showed you there. Make it fun. It's meant to show your personality and your brand and the face behind your brand. Your evergreen feed is where you can have those, curated professional photos, but your stories aren't expected to have that same, maybe like professional quality. So if you're showing off your brand and you want to show off your brand personality and something fun you're doing, Instagram stories is great for that. Try new things. Try some of those widgets, those countdowns, take a poll, see how your audience reacts to it, and get creative. So things like posting a DIY, like Etsy did, of a craft, or a countdown for your event, or things like that. So play around with it. It's a great way to gain some insight as to what your audience responds to, and it's free and it's relatively low in resources. So if you want to grab my card later, we can talk more. If you have any questions, just let me know.